welcome to another eBay unboxing. This was an amazing buy because the seller really brought the price down. Let's do this in fast motion and I'll tell you the whole story. So I'm trying to turn on a new leaf. I know in my past videos, if you follow me, you know I can be very hard, very mean, very, I don't know, ruthless, nasty. I'm trying to become a better person, so I started collecting crucifixes, and you might think, that's really odd. How could collecting crucifixes soften your heart? Well, I had no faith at all. Zero faith in religion or anything. I wouldn't say I was an atheist. I wanted to believe in the worst way, but I was suffering so bad for so many years from so many different traumas and really traumatic things. Up until recently, my health has gotten so bad, I started praying. And I started praying this week, and I noticed that my health condition, my edema, which is swelling of the legs, ankles, both feet, and thighs, was so bad I couldn't even bend my legs to get up the stairs. I was almost becoming handicapped. My agoraphobia had created that because not leaving the house because of bad anxiety and panic attacks has made it so that my life has become where I'm not active anymore. I just sit in a chair all day. I sit and plunk around on YouTube and eBay buying things, and I'm not exercising, I'm not moving my body, and I'm getting sicker and sicker. So I decided to, why not give it a try? Bring a little religion into the family, well, into my soul and into my heart. And I'm able to bend my legs at the knees now, which is an absolute miracle. And it's getting better and better and better. Could it be the crucifix? Could it be the fact that I'm eating a little more healthier and I gave up drinking Coca-Cola? Yeah, I'm 5 days sober, no Coca-Cola. Yes, huge addict when it comes to Coca-Cola. 2-liter bottles every single day I've been drinking for the past, since I'm a kid. And I gave it up completely. I prayed to God. I said, that's it. I just want you to save my life, because if this continues, I'm going to die. I don't want to die. I need you to save me. Please, dear God, save me, restore me back to health, and I will spread your word. I will do whatever I have to do to show people that you, Jesus Christ, the Almighty Jesus Christ, and Lord and Savior, can save us all. And so here I am. My legs are getting actually less swollen by the day. Now, I've had this malady for close to 3 years now. And all of a sudden, I started praying and begging for forgiveness from God for all my nastiness and rudeness and mean-spirited, hard-nosed. And if somebody said, bless you, I used to get extremely enraged. And I would say, he's nothing but a sky fairy. He is not real. How dare you tell me to bless myself? Yes, that's how mean I was. I had a meanness in my heart after my mother died. And so I'm trying my best. I am trying to become a better person. You might not hear as many expletives being spoken in my videos anymore. And I'm trying not to be so mean. I figured maybe if I did the opposite and I was kinder, maybe life would be better, right? Less anxiety, less panic, less, going through PTSD flashbacks, and more of love. Okay, so let's check out this crucifix, which is called the Stations of the Cross. And there's 14 stations of the cross that's showing you the Christ's crucifixion in step 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 14. You see little scenes on these panels, and he also fell 3 times. You see that in the scenes, how he was strung up to the cross. Well, nailed. I don't like to say nailed to the cross. It really bothers me to think that anybody could go through that much agony and, out of hatred. It just makes me sick. And wow, this is really beautiful. Now I'm going to show you the miracle that was given to me by God by letting me have this crucifix. Now the seller, God bless the seller. You want to buy from them? I'd say buy from them. And I shouldn't even really be showing them on here. But you know what? You were kind to me. I'm going to be kind back to you. So please buy from the seller. You can see their name clearly in the video. Okay, they wanted $349. $349.95 for this crucifix. I could not afford it, but I really loved it. There was something special about it. I felt this love for it, and I offered $50. The seller declined, came back to me at $100, and then I sent them a message and said, could we meet halfway, please? I would greatly appreciate it. Can I give you $80 for it? And the seller went for $349.95 to let me have it for $80. God bless this person, because I need this crucifix because I need to do more praying and become a better person. And I know I have a lot in my collection, but I'd like to rotate. So every day when I do a daily prayer, especially this is to be used during Lent. This is a Lenten type of crucifix, right around Easter. It's because we have the resurrection of Christ on Easter. And this seller, God bless you. You've been very kind to me. And you let me have this for $80 when it was $349.95. I was not looking to resell this crucifix fix at all. So it's not like, okay, I got it for $80. Now I'm going to flip it for $350. That's not what's going to happen here. I'm going to use it. And what's beautiful about it is its brass color. I don't know if you can see this beautiful brass. Now this is old. It was probably made anywhere between the 1920s to the 1940s, 50s, right around there. It's gorgeous because of the wood inlay. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know what kind of wood this is. If you can tell me, that would be fantastic. It could be fruit wood, or it also could be red oak or walnut. I'm not a wood expert, but I think it's quite beautiful. Now, we have Jesus Christ right here. I can clean this all up with Simicrone. You can see the patina on it. It's not brand new. And what's really interesting about it is this. I find this interesting. It was attached to a pretty ribbon. I don't know if that's gross grain. I don't know my ribbons. Gross grain, ribbon, gross grain. And you can see, is that a gross grain ribbon? I don't know. Someone will correct me. But somebody really, really adored this crucifix because they had it attached to a ribbon, okay? And the Stations of the Cross, let's look at it, okay? And there's different steps. I believe there's a Roman numeral under each one. Of course, my camera's not going to let us see that. But I think I'm trying to find the sequence, the correct sequence here. But I'm going to have to get reading glasses. Okay, so I'm looking at it with my jeweler's loupe, and sure enough, this is one. I don't know if you can see it in there. But right under the picture, it's 1. Roman numeral 1. Then we have Roman numeral 2. I believe that's 2. Or is that 2? Okay, that's 2. That's 3. Let's check out. Do you go this way? This direction? That's 4. I believe that should be 5. I'm not sure. 6. And it goes on and on and on. And so let's check out the steps of the cross. So we have, not that a lot of you might probably not want to subscribe to me anymore, but that's okay. All right, so we have this scene where they're helping him carry the crucifix. I forgot who those two people were. I really am not very religious, so I don't know. He fell, and he's being whipped, which is really awful, okay? And then, again, I believe they're helping him, and he's carrying the cross. He's bearing the cross. There we go. And then you go over to this side, and he fell again, and somebody's helping him carry the cross. I forgot which disciple was that. And he fell again. And then we have this scene here. I guess he's being placed onto the cross. He's taken down from the cross, and then he's entombed. Oops, he's entombed. Okay, this is really beautiful. And this is actually a piece that you would buy in Rome. So when you would make a pilgrimage to the Vatican, you would buy one of these pieces in a Rome, like basically religious gift shop. That a lot of these were actually made in Rome by hand. These were handcrafted crucifixes. A lot of them will have sometimes relics in them. I will show you a relics example. Let me go get one. You might say to me, futures past, these all look alike to me. Well, they're not. They're not alike. They're all different in their own way. This is the one that I got. Here's one with a relic of a saint inside, behind Jesus's head. You see this. This is called a moonstance, which is like a dome of glass, and you see the saints in there. And it also has the Stations of the Cross with ebony wood, and this is ebonized wood, and we have the same medallions. And this is quite beautiful. This is a really rare piece because we have the relics of a saint in there. And then you can collect these type, all by the way from Rome. And this would have a pope. And this is the Pope Pius the 11th. This is his coin and his saying right there on the top. This was actually made in I believe this was 1925. Yes. So this crucifix, now we're getting to see like the date, you know, the ages of this. This was 1925 right here. And this has all the basilicas right on each trifoil. Trifoil, or it's like budded out. So there we go. We have the basilicas. I don't know if you can see that. Of the holy churches in Rome. And here we go. I have more of these, by the way. I do have more of these with micro mosaics in them. Micro mosaics are thousands of little pieces of glass that was broken up to make pictures. And I'll show you an example. Here's my little table that I have my religious articles on. This is like my altar. And we have a lot of beautiful, beautiful antique and vintage religious items. This is the bones of the saints relic. It's on the back of this. I'm not going to turn it around, but I do have it in a shadow box. And we have Pope John Paul II, a real photograph that someone had given my mother when we used to sell antiques on Ruby Lane. Some rich gentleman used to buy antiques from us every single month. He would spend thousands of dollars in our Ruby Lane shop. We shared a shop. And we were talking about Pope John Paul. This was before he died. And he said, well, I have a photograph of him. Would you like it? And my mother said yes. And when my mom passed, I took the photo. There's Pope John Paul blessing people. It's a real photo. It's not mass produced. And we have, this is Paterino, Eugenio Paterino, Jesus Christ sculpture. I don't know if you can see this. This was made out of clay by an Italian sculpture artist. And he's very, very famous. Eugenio Paterino made beautiful religious, gorgeous religious, I'm just trying to pull back there, gorgeous religious pieces made out of like terracotta and porcelain. Here's our micro mosaic, one of them. I have many of these. This is a small example, but you can see, look at the micro mosaic tiles going throughout it. It's very hard to see because the lighting is not very good in here right now. But you can see these are teeny tiny little tiles that make up the crucifix. And we also have the Jubilee of Pope Pius the 11th right here. That's his Jubilee coin. And I believe this was 1929, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so I'm going to put this back. I have a lot of different things. I put them in shadow boxes because I just don't want anything to happen to them. Here's another micro mosaic. And let's try to, if the lighting is terrible in here. But each little piece has, I'll take it over somewhere else. You're going to be able to see it better now. We have the micro mosaics. Each tile makes up a picture in these crucifixes. I also have a Pope Pius the 11th, the Pope Pius the 12th pocket knife and a Christ head right there made out of silver. And there we go. I have an altar for my own mother, and with all her favorite things, her ashes are in that box in here, covered in dust. I do have to clean it. All the things she loved, her plastic cigarette, her Excedrin, and all sorts of things. I have her favorite record albums over here, the Moody Blues, Millie Jackson Live and Uncensored, Atlantic City slot machine that she used to love to play, the panel from it. Yes, I actually found that, which I could not believe. It came from New Jersey. And yeah, so I have like a little religious altar going for her as well. Yes, I need to dust it. I'm a very bad daughter. Shadow boxes with more crucifixes in them. And yes, the lighting is terrible in here right now. I'm in the dining room with no lights. And yes, I put devotionals of people that once owned them in the shadow boxes, as you can see here. And here's more of my crucifixes. I'm working on various projects, as you can see. I have things going on here. But yeah, I collect a lot of crucifixes, as you can see. So a lot of priests and nuns would have these type of crucifixes. Generally, I mean, regular people, regular everyday people would have these too. But these are known sometimes also as bishop's crosses. And they're quite, I mean, look at the intricacy. This is the one with the relic in it. Really quite beautiful with a ruby in there. Yeah. This one, again, 20s, 30s. Same thing for this. No later than probably the 40s is my guess. The one that I got for $80. Very, very nice of that seller. God bless that seller because that seller did not had to bring the price down from $349. At that price, I would have never been able to afford this crucifix. I could have never afforded it, and that seller made it possible for me to have this crucifix, which I adore and will take very good care of it. I am going to condition the wood with Murphy's oil soap and clean the little medallions, but it really doesn't need much cleaning, which is a miracle. A lot of these, when I get them, they're covered in layers of tarnish. So I hope you learned something today. Now, as I continue to document my life, and we do unboxings and this, that, we're going to check and see how the power of prayer works. If my edema disappears, which I've had for like close to 3 years now, severe edema, where they told me that I'm having heart failure, and I chickened out. They checked my heart and saw that it was enlarged. And it was supposed to go to a cardiologist, which I did go. The minute he actually started examining me with the stethoscope, he freaked out and said, "There's something wrong with your heart. It is beating way too fast." And I said to him, "Please don't do this to me. I have really bad health anxiety. I have panic disorder, anxiety, and PTSD. What you're doing is making me frightened." And he kept going on and on saying that it was abnormal. And he started getting machines out. All these machines started coming out. And because edema sometimes is caused by a failing heart. And I got so scared, I ran out of the cardiologist's office and never got treatment. And that was over 2.5, right after my mother died, close to 3 years ago. I ran and I did not get treatment for my disorder, and it's getting worse and worse. And I'm afraid I'm going to die. I don't want to die. And if you are afraid you're going to die, you'll do anything that you can to try to not die, right? Unless you're suicidal, which I'm not. And so I'm going to stop praying to God. And if we have a miracle, boys and girls, and my edema goes away, I am going to actually spend the rest of my life doing good things for others. I'm going to help other agoraphobics. I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to ask the Father to show me people that are lonely, extremely sad and lonely people. And I'm going to go to their houses and be company for them and help assist them to getting back out in society again. And that is my goal. My goal is to save the lost souls of this world. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all soon, and so long.